In section 2.1, we will have an introduction to statistics and more specifically samples versus populations. Here's some definition. In statistics, a variable is a characteristic of an individual to be measured or observed. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say we wanted to find the average height of adult males in the United States. Okay, this is what we want. We want to find the average height of adult males in the US. A variable is a characteristic of the individual. So in this case, the individuals are the adult males in the US. Okay, the individuals are, so the question you ask yourself is, who are we studying? In this case, we are studying adult males in the US. Now, a variable is a characteristic of the individuals that we're interested in. So the individuals are the adult males. A variable, so what are we interested in studying? In this case, the variable is their average height. Okay, this is what we're interested in studying. That's a variable. So the variable is what are we studying? Individuals are who are we studying? And the variable is what are we studying? Okay, so keep that in mind. Individuals, who are we studying? And the variable is what are we interested in studying? And the data we observe for a variable, these are called the observations. Now here's one main goal of statistics. It's to raise a question about one or more variables. For example, let's say that you work for a TV company, and the TV company has 3 shows. They have show number 1, they have show number 2, and they have show number 3. They can only broadcast one show. So they want to find out which show will have the most likelihood of being successful, which show will attract the most number of viewers. That's a question that the TV company will ask. Which show should be produced and broadcast? 2, create a plan to answer the question. So the plan to determine which show is going to be the most successful, they might take a sample of people. And they might ask a sample of these 3 shows, which show would you watch? Okay, that's creating a plan to answer the question. Then we collect data. So the data is collected from these individuals who are being studied, and the individuals will say, I like show A, show B, or show C. Then somebody will analyze the data. Then they'll present the data to whoever makes the decisions. So the TV executives might make the decision, and the TV executives will draw a conclusion about the question based on the data. This happens in all aspects of life. Statistics is used everywhere, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in politics. You know, people want to know which candidate has the most likelihood of succeeding because they'll provide support to that candidate. In entertainment, in politics, in medicine, which medication is, let's say it's the company is testing out a new medicine, which medication will have the least side effects and the most success. Every aspect of life utilizes statistics by asking these 3 questions. Okay, what is a question we want to know? What is a plan to answer the question? We collect the data, and we analyze the data, and we draw a conclusion. Those are the 5 basic steps of statistics. Now, a population is the entire group of individuals about which we want to learn. And a sample is just a part of the population. So let's go back to our original example about the average height of all adult males in the US. Okay, so our individuals are the adult males, and our variable is the average height of these individuals. Now, Is it practical to go to every single adult male in the US and ask them what their height is and then take that average? So let's say that these are all the males, all the adult males in the US. Okay? There are, I don't know, like 200 million. It's not practical to go to 200 million adults, right? It's time consuming. I don't even know how that would be possible unless there's a big scale operation. So instead, here's what we do. We take a small sample of all males. So this is called a sample. And the sample might just be of 1,000 adult males. And what we do is we find the average height of these 1,000 adult males, and we generalized the height of all US males based on this sample. Okay, so the sample in this case is the 1,000 adult males that are studied. Now the sample will provide an estimate average height of all adult males in the US. So the population that the sample is trying to estimate is all adult males in the US. Okay, so once again, this is your population. This whole thing, that's your population. This represents every adult male in the US. It's not practical to survey 200 million adult males. So instead, we're going to sample just 1,000 adult males. And the average height of these 1,000 adult males is going to be used to estimate the average height of all adult males. So the sample is these 1,000 adult males, and the population is every adult male in the US. Here's an example. Identify the variable, the sample, and the population of a study. Remember, the variable is what are we studying. The sample is just a small sample we're going to study, and the population is what the sample is estimating. So researchers wanted to estimate the percentage of all American adults. So already we know that if you want to estimate the percentage of all American adults, that's going to be my population, who think it should be legal for same-sex couples to marry. Okay, so what are we studying? We're studying what percentage of all adult males think that it should be legal for same-sex couples to marry. This is going to be your variable. That's what we're studying. Of 1,009 adults surveyed, we can't survey all American adults. It's too many. So instead, we're going to survey a sample of 1,009 adult males. 56% said yes. The researchers then made a conclusion about the proportion of all American adults who think it should be legal. Okay, so the variable, as we said, the variable is the yes or no responses to the question, do you think it should be legal for same-sex couples to marry? So the variable is American adults who think it should be legal, the percentage of American adults who think it should be legal for same-sex couples to marry. That's your variable. The population is all American adults because that's the group we're interested in. But we can't survey all American adults, so instead we survey a sample of 1,009 American adults. Here's another example. Researchers wanted to estimate the percentage of all college students who have cheated on an exam. Of 785 college students surveyed, 48% said yes. Okay, now let's think about this. We can't study every single college student in the US. That's too many students. So instead, we're going to take a survey of 785 college students. And we want to know what percentage of them have cheated. So the variable for the study is whether or not a college student has cheated. That's what we want to find out. So we would go to each of these 785 college students. We would ask them, have you cheated? Have you not cheated? They'll give a yes or no answer. The population, we're interested in drawing conclusions about all college students. Okay, but again, there are millions of college students around the US, so it's impossible to draw a conclusion about all college students. So instead, we have a sample of 785 students who were included in the study. Okay, this is a sample of college students. Sample means a small portion that will represent the bigger population. Here are a couple more definitions. Descriptive statistics is a practice of using tables, graphs, and calculations about a sample to draw conclusions. So once the data is calculated, the descriptive statistic summarizes the data. Inferential statistic is a practice of using information from a sample. So in our previous case, we take the information from a sample of 785 college students. That's your sample. And based on the data from these students, we're going to draw a conclusion or an inference about the entire population. And the entire population is all college students. So the data from this sample is going to be used to make a conclusion about all college students. And that is one of the main tools that statistics provides us with. And we'll talk much more about this throughout the semester.